The Bleach Bracer Awards for the year 2023 is officially here. It's in the description. Check it out if you haven't already seen it. Alright lads, so in less than 12 hours time, we are going to be getting our first 1000-year blood banner for the year 2024. In this case, 2 new characters, Toshiro and also Cang. Now with that, as always, we're here to ask the question, is this banner worth summoning on? And I would say, if you're new to the game, maybe you can afford to do 5 to 10 steps. If you're a massive Cang fan, if you're a massive Toshiro fan, go and do what you have to do, summon on this banner. Or summon, of course, on the individuals. I would say for majority of people out there, and this goes for myself too, I think this is quite the easy skip. And the ultimate reason why it is a skip is that this is essentially a one-character banner. I'm going to say how it is. It really is. Toshiro, I'm going to highlight where he's going to be good at. He's not a bad character by any means, but at the end of the day, he is just a Guild Quest NAD character. In a Guild Quest week that, to be fair, has a lot of competition. And while he is going to be the best booster for that week, he's not even needed. Cang realistically is the only character is worth talking about and worth the hype that comes with a 1000-year blood banner. But with that, you're essentially pulling for one character in a 12-character banner. And that's why I would more so recommend this time around going in on the individual banners. Now, Cang does release on the 15th. So when this character's individual banner releases a day later, we'll find out what mid-month is going to be. There's no chance that whatever mid-month will be better than this Cang. He's absolutely broken as a character. The banner itself, if you are missing the fillers, are okay at best. I mean, Izuru is a drop link as a character. He's terrible. Akon is a super link farmer, but also a really good support for Yachiro Unohana or any speed Soropa killer. And then Sergeant, despite being an old character, is actually still really good and meta in the Melia Hollow Guild Quest. Toshiro's banner will then release on the 21st, lasting until the 27th. In this case, his banner looks a tad bit better with Ishin and also Momo being pretty good characters. Unfortunately for Toshiro fans though, if you do decide to pull on this banner, a day after this banner leaves is when we find out what the next end of month banner could be, and there is a potential chance that could be 1000-year Blood War. So before we even look at the characters and the fillers, it's also important to note that this is our first 1000-year Blood War Season 2 banner. We saw in Season 1 when we started to get those characters, we were going in some type of chronological order, and there's a very good chance since they started with Toshiro and Cang that we're going to do the same for Season 2. So if you are someone that is obviously excited for the later part of 1000-year Blood War, most of the next set of fights, you're definitely going to want to skip banners like this and save for those characters you want. We are fortunate potentially in a situation where we potentially know what next character is coming out. Again, there's a very good chance that Soifun and BG9 are next. And then after that, it should be Bambietta and Sergeant, maybe even a Bankai Shinji. If you are someone that wants those characters, let's say you're a massive Bambietta fan, well, she's potentially going to release in the next 4 or so months, and you better start saving orbs for her now. We have a pity system in this game, so you want to make sure at any given point you have at least 5,000 orbs for that character you're really saving for. With that said though, let's have a look at the 2 new characters. So first up, let's look at Cang, the only character that really is worth talking about here. In this case, he is a speed Quincy Sternritter with the Hollow Kill ability, and he is a melee strong attack character. All of his attacks except his SA2 can inflict freeze, and that's because his SA2 is a barrier. Now in terms of damage output, this character is going to hit very hard. It's very surprising how powerful they made this character. So for starters, he has Frenzy +2 with a 50% berserker, and when you do inflict a status on him, which by the way, he has an increased chance to do so, you then get a 120% SP boost. 80% comes from his skill, the extra 40% comes from his soul trait, which you can give to any speed character. So even as a link, this character looks to be quite powerful. Now, if that damage wasn't already good as is, he also does come with a gauge effect. He starts the quest with 70% of the gauge full, so not only when you use your strong attacks are you filling up the gauge naturally, anytime you get a kill, you also fill up the gauge faster. And the great thing about this character, which makes it more special, is that any other gauge rampage character we have received in the past, Nini and Ichibe for example, when their gauge isn't active, their damage output is low. That is not the case for Cang. So he's going to have such an easy time filling up that gauge, and then when his gauge activates, he then gets an additional Frenzy +1. So overall, Frenzy +3, 50% berserker, 120% SP boost, and then you also have an increased chance to inflict status ailments, in which you then do 40% more damage to frozen enemies. One extra unique thing about him too is that when you do actually activate the gauge, you also get an additional sprinter +2, so he's going to be very fast, taking full advantage of that gauge effect when the gauge does activate. He honestly, without a doubt, is one of the better characters in the game. In a stacked attribute as powerful as speed characters are, he's easily able to stand out as potentially one of the best characters in the game, maybe even the best speed character. I think he's definitely up there, tied with Yachiro Unohana. His gameplay is setting up to be fun. He looks to be quite a safe character too, has some really cool visuals visuals to back it up, and he's without a doubt also the best gauge character in the game. Very, very impressive how powerful they made this character, and you know what, they had to, because again, he's basically the only character in this banner. Because unfortunately, and I am being quite harsh on Toshiro here, Toshiro is just a character you're going to use in Guild Quest. Now, as far as melee Nad characters go, he is still one of the better ones out there, but he still has problems being a melee Nad character only designed to be used in Guild Quest, right? So Toshiro is a power surrogate captain with the Captain Kill ability. His main usage is to be a booster in his Guild Quest week. He's going to be able to provide your team with extra stats, but also do a respectable amount of damage. Really high amount of damage for a Guild Quest character, to be fair, since he does come with Flurry +2, which is only in effect in Guild Quest. Outside of Guild Quest is Flurry +1, unfortunately. But he also does have a 50% bruiser, an additional 40% normal attack damage when you are at full stamina, which he can easily keep thanks to his 15+ start barrier. He gets more killer effect, more melee damage in Guild Quest, and he also does have the booster skill. Honestly, as a Nad GQ character, this is the best it can really be. Like, he has really good amount of damage. If you are for some reason struggling in an already easy Guild Quest, that being the melee captain Guild Quest, having Toshiro will definitely make it a lot easier. Like, he is really good as a GQ character. His damage output's super high, he's boosting the team, and he is looking to have some good protection too. But again, not to get super picky, that's what mid-month characters do. While yes, his damage output's higher than a mid-month character, in terms of what he offers, it's no different to what a mid-month character is, and that's my problem with this character. He should have offered more than just be a Guild Quest Nad character. It also doesn't help, to be fair, that again, the Captain Killer Guild Quest is already competitive as is. You're actually probably better not bringing him and bringing someone like Yachiru, Shinji, and also Akon, which is currently the best team right now for the Captain Killer Guild Quest. He, of course, is going to be good in what he wants to do, but when you're summoning on a 2-character banner, do you really want to summon for someone that you're only going to use in Guild Quest? As a Toshiro fan, you can definitely get a use out of him outside of Guild Quest, but for the average player, his only use is going to be in Guild Quest. Now, when it comes to the other characters in the banner, it is a full 1,000-year Blood banner. Luckily, this time around, though, 1,000-year Blood Aizen and also Ichigo, old characters, they have long since resurrected, but they are very rarely featured in banners, so you might actually be missing these characters. They do offer good links and also more orbs since they do resurrect. In Aizen's case, he's one of the best links in the entire game. As for the other characters, though, as always, they're collector items. You would want them if you're missing them, and then after that, you no longer want them. They are eventually going to resurrect. Bambietta in particular is scheduled to get her resurrection when 1,000-year Blood War Season 3 ends, which is guaranteed to happen sometime later this year, maybe in summer, and her resurrection might make it really good. Drugrim in Brave Battle still unironically does have a place you can definitely get away using him in Brave Battles. He's nowhere near as good as like the, newer characters, but he is still definitely relevant in that mode. As for the other three though, Yamamoto, Chodra, and also Izuru, I mean, these characters are always featured as fillers, so if you don't have them right now, you're gonna get them later on. At least Izuru is a 20% DR link, so he's actually a really good link for 1,000-year Blood with Yamamoto if you are using him in Brave Battles, and when Izuru does eventually resurrect, he might become an even better link. Having a look at the actual banner itself, it is a Zenith summon, so step 1, 6, 11, 16, and 21 are discounted at 150 orbs. Step 2, 7, 12, 17, and 22 are discounted at 200 orbs. Every 5th step guarantees you a featured character, which in this case is a 1,000-year Blood War character. And then if you do go all the way to step 25, you are guaranteed the character of your choice, either Sangdu or Toshiro. So yeah, I would say most people should easily skip this banner. Maybe limit yourself. Do a couple steps, right? Realistically, there hasn't been a good banner worth summoning on since end of year December. So you might have already stacked up a couple thousand orbs. I know I have. I haven't spent money on this game just yet, and I currently am sitting on 5,000 orbs. I might do 5 steps just to test my luck. Why not? Because I haven't summoned in over 2 months. I might just do it. But at the same time, I'd rather do those 5 steps on Sangdu's individual because he's looking to be a really good character, a fun character, and someone that I definitely get my hands on. Toshiro, on the other hand, melee Naz character, I don't need a my count, so I'm skipping this banner because ultimately it's a 1-character banner. I'd rather summon on the individual. And I would say some of you lads should probably do the same thing too. Even if you want Toshiro and you don't care about Sangdu, maybe summon on Toshiro's individual. If you're new to the game, again, maybe limit yourself, do a couple summons. I don't recommend going down to step 25 unless, again, Toshiro or Sangdu, maybe both of them, are your favorite character. I would recommend saving for those 3-character 1,000-year Blood banners, hopefully sometime in the future. And I would also recommend start saving for your upcoming potential favorite character from Season 2, because we're probably going to get them very soon. Unless your favorite character like me is Giselle, where we're probably not going to get Giselle till after the 9th anniversary. Because it does potentially look like we are going to go in some type of chronological order. So before we get Giselle, we have to get Kenpachi. We have to get Gremmy, Esnot, Rukia, Byakuya, Sergeant, Bambietta, Shinji, Soifon, BG9, for example. But if you want those characters, I mean, you better start saving now, right? And remember, I've been saying this for the last like 6 months. The more 1,000 year blood banners you skip, the better future 1,000 year blood banners will be. It might just take a while for them to become fillers though. But eventually, they will become fillers. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. In the comments below, let me know if you are someone on this banner. If you are, good luck. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.